The Royal Motor Yacht Club Port Hacking is a hidden gem of the Shire, situated on the banks of the beautiful Port Hacking. It's a great place to catch up with friends, celebrate your birthday or any special occasion, and they always show the NRL live on the big screens. The RMYC Port Hacking, proud sponsors of this podcast and big supporters of the Cronulla Sharks. Check out their website, rmycph.com.au. They've got a Facebook page, or you could go old school and call them on 02 9523 9300.
SharkCast! SharkCast! Fafita tries to crash his way over, he does! Fafita got the ball over the line!
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest team in Las Vegas and the history of the world. My name is Sam Shinazzi, OG 2015, Ben.
Wow.
We are sipping coffee, eating food. Where are we? Gary, we're in NRL Resorts World.
Las Vegas Resorts World, yes.
Before we continue this TMU version of the morning mashup, that's not my joke. My name is Sam Shinazzi. I've said that. 2015 show is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and a good friend, Jason Hawes at Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. We're going to have a bit of fun here. I am with Ben Harlum from... Where are you from? I don't know where you're from. I just met you. Where are you from?
Hi, my name's Ben.
I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's right. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Second-time caller.
Yeah, that's right.
You're from SIRIUS XFM.
SIRIUS XFM, the morning mashup, which is the joke that you just made, that you stole off our next guest. And that's me. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being here, Ben. You are here with your show, The Morning Mashup, and your guests of the NRL. We can say that, yeah?
Yeah. We have become cultural ambassadors to the NRL and spreading the great word.
Okay. And we're joined by Gary Dover from the Sharks, or as we say, from SharkCast as well. How's your trip been, Gary?
So far, so good. A little jet lagged yesterday and not feeling too crash hot, but we got a feed at Shake Shack and then went out and saw Ben and had a good little time. So feeling much better this morning, and yeah, good to be here.
How was your accommodation?
Excellent. Someone very friendly put me up.
That was nice.
It was a nice double bed in the room, so I was very, very happy. Thank you very much,
Were you the
Sam.
big spoon or the little spoon?
We had two beds.
Were you the big spoon or the little spoon? Doesn't mean you have to use both beds, Gary.
Always the big spoon.
That's the spirit.
Okay, now, getting this out of the gutter, Ben.
Sorry.
We are having a great time in Las Vegas, and we're here to talk to people who are both here in Las Vegas and back home. They want to hear how it's all going. I've got to say I'm thoroughly impressed, and if I hadn't have come here, I wouldn't have realized what a big deal this actually is.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd agree. I remember sort of the last year only sort of seeing a bit of coverage as I'd read on the Telegraph or the Herald websites, not really fully exposed to what you guys would have seen in the lead up back home in Sydney. And then I went on TV and watched it and was like, oh, this is a big deal. And then even now, when I landed, went through the airport, and the amount of Warriors jerseys and the amount of Penrith jerseys that I bumped into, more and more I'm seeing more Sharks jerseys, which is great. Then you go, when people were saying, oh, Australians have taken over the Strip, you sort of go, oh, yeah, whatever. But you walk up and down and it's like, oh, Australians and New Zealanders and also now English fans have taken over the Strip. Like, we're looking out of a giant window now onto a portion of Las Vegas Boulevard, and there is two Sharks fans with their jerseys and their hats on, just strolling back into the casino. And it's like, you're never going to see that apart from a random Souths fan somewhere, Sam. And here we are in Las Vegas, a million miles away from Cronulla, and it's like, this is incredible.
Now, what you can hear in the background possibly is the NRL kind of fan centre, and they're doing music and live crosses back to Australia, so there's a bit of yahooing going on. But as part of this trip, we promise you ambiance, and that's what you're going to get. Absolutely amazing scenes here, and it's only Wednesday, is that right?
Yeah, so it's Wednesday afternoon here, Thursday morning Shire time, and I don't think you're going to find anywhere. I think this is actually the quietest place in Las Vegas that we've found after walking up and down the strip a few times to try and find somewhere that's podcast friendly, and really there isn't anywhere. Because not only every casino is pumping with music, but then we are very close to this fan hub that has mascots and fans and TV crosses, and it's like going crazy.
You ran into Greg Alexander, which was great, my colleague. Andrew Eddinghausen's walking around. It's chaos.
You know what I like? The amount of messages, and I've seen people on Twitter or they may be on the message boards. I've got friends that have been messaging me who they're spotting on the flights here.
Yeah.
So whether you've spotted ET on the flight here, I know my mate Mike, he spotted, he had Gal and JT on his flight. And it's like you see players, you see commentators, you see ex-players. You go, okay, who's this person? Why? You don't have any association with any club, but you're still coming. This is amazing. Like it's almost like a guess who of NRL dignitaries that you're spotting as you're coming here.
Todd Carney was on my flight.
That's cool.
So
that is a journey.
Dean and Kemp. There's plenty of people coming over. So yeah, it is good vibes.
Yeah, great time. And the Sharkies, as far as we know, Gary, like you and I have seen them pretty close up. They're taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah, it's a business trip for them. Obviously, they're over here to get the 2 points, and everything's very serious from that perspective. But, you know, they made sure they got to LA early and enjoyed a bit of downtime there, seeing the sights and really getting around each other, and a bit of a bonding trip. And then over here, we had a session yesterday. Going to have another session tomorrow. So, yeah, there's plenty happening and plenty of training. We were at the UFC Performance Institute yesterday, which was really cool. That's where they're filming... is it The Contender? Is that the UFC one?
The Ultimate Fighter.
The Ultimate Fighter, yeah. So that was
Contender
all
was the boxing
studio
version.
lights everywhere and everything over there, which was really cool. And, yeah, the boys are loving it. So,
Can I ask a dumb question, guys?
There are no dumb questions.
Thank you so much. When you say that you can see that they're really dialed in and they're taking this really seriously, what is, like, when you get to training and you start seeing the players and they're doing their drills and their runs, whatever, like how can you tell? Is it a look in their eyes? Is it an intensity?
Yeah, it's an intensity thing for sure. It's like at home, you know, they're playing jokes, they're kicking balls around, they're doing all that sort of stuff. But when they're here, you know, they're really switched on, they're straight into their stretching, they're all timed and regimented in what they're doing, and like they're just really knuckling down and making sure that they're prepared as best they can for this game.
That's cool. Yeah, what I saw at training yesterday, Ben, they could have been anywhere in the world. They could have been at Port Hacking Oval or whatever. Like, they were just in the zone. Not much drop ball, contact. Very much, as we know, Gary, about connection.
Yeah.
Like, our team is all about connection.
It's a big word.
The feel. And there was huddles every kind of, 8 or 9 minutes. They'd stop, have a group huddle, talk about what worked, what didn't work, and get back into it. And it was really cool. You could tell by the way they brought in the 3 combine guys.
Yep.
And they weren't treated any differently. I mean, obviously, they were treated in a sense of like, hey, they're a very welcoming presence, but they were just part of the team. They were doing the same stuff that Nico Hines was doing and whoever else. And, yeah, the coaching staff was, hey, I now know what Gary calls his wife.
Sorry, we need to get it out of the gutter, I was told.
We'll stay out of the gutter. That's been in there for 10 years. More.
I'm rattled. Hello to Beck. She may be listening. Or as she's commonly referred to. The boys are locked in. Ben, I know that we have a lot of people that write to us, and they're always a bit, and I don't want to be nice here because they're our listeners and we love them, they're always a little bit unsure about things where, the Leichhardt game where we lost against the Tigers, and we shouldn't have won. We all agree with that. There's a thought there that they weren't switched on, they weren't ready, they weren't prepared. And that may be true, but there's actually no way of proving that unless they come out and say it or an incident comes out or whatever. They just got beaten by a team that was more up for it, right?
That's right.
So I just want to get across to our listeners, the team probably had a few drinks the first night in Las Vegas. In Los Angeles. But since they came to Vegas, it's all business. And we spoke to some of the Warriors extended crew. They were kind of at the boredom stage of being at Vegas because they've been here for 10 days. Mm-hmm. Sharks are the only team to come here for less than 10 days. It's going to be 6 probably or something.
Yep, 6
and
days.
And so it could be a genius move by Fitzy and Noakesy and all those people involved by having them not here that long. And there was the other thought where, they're only going to be here for a short time. They're going to go nuts. well, they're not going to go nuts. Touch wood, but it's all going to be okay. We're approaching game day soon enough. So yeah, they're in the pocket, I reckon, from what I've seen.
And it's that perception's reality, at least to the fans, right? Because that was one of the criticisms back when we did the World Club Challenge, was that because so much of the content that we were seeing on socials and online was, oh, here they are doing this, I don't know, in Paris, here they are in Europe, here they are in London doing this, okay, now there's a game and then we lost, that there was a lot of sentiment from the fans of, oh, well, they just took this as a holiday.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't there at any of the training sessions in Wigan or in London or in Europe, wherever they were. I'm not one to say whether they took it seriously or not back however many years that was, 2017. But it's good to get that report from you guys who saw that up close, and you can see in the content that at least I'm seeing on socials and online that they are locked in, and it's good to see that because you can actually go, okay, they aren't just partying on the strip, they aren't just going around to hockey games and basketball games, they are locked in. I like that.
Yeah, and there was probably a bit of a thing that came out from a couple of the clubs last year that came over, and one of them said that the biggest or the best thing that they did was that they got to Vegas straight away and they had the full 2 weeks here. And it kind of, I looked at it the way you said, it's like if they're staying here for 2 weeks, they're going to get bored, they're going to go want to do something.
Yeah.
So I think we've done it really well in the sense that we've had our little training camp in LA, we've done some sights and touring, got down to business, got to Vegas. We've got a night here and a free day the next day, and then let's knuckle down. So I think, yeah, we're in a good space.
Yeah, and there's probably, because all around the world, there's probably one person being critical right now going, what are you guys talking about? They should be like training 7 days a week, whatever. The fact that they came here and had some fun, went to NHL, did other stuff early, you don't want to deny them that experience. They're young guys.
Yeah.
It's potentially once in a lifetime. You never know. Like, I'm not suggesting it is, but it's a very rare event. They can come here to this part of the world. But you don't want to just go hotel room, training, hotel room. You got to let them have a life.
And it feeds back to that word we were talking about before, connection. Like, Fitzy's big on that. They weren't just going and visiting anyone. Like, they went to the LA firefighters. They listened to the stories about family and everything there. And, like, they're things that really resonate with the team. They're not just going willy-nilly just at whatever opportunity pops up. They're sort of really structured in what they want to do and what they want to hear and how that will feed into the team mentality. So, yeah, I think everything that they've chosen so far has been a really good choice, and it's definitely contributed to the headspace that the boys are in now.
Well, I just read the article about all the under-21 players on the Raiders squad, and they obviously can't go out. There's a lot of, even just to walk on a casino floor, they aren't able to do it. And so one of them brought a PS5. They've got Xboxes set up in their team room or whatever. Like, talk about players going stir-crazy. Imagine that. You can't even go out with the rest of the team and you're just playing Xbox for the whole time for 10 days when you're here.
I mean, that goes back to Toby Rudolph getting off the chat group because he didn't want to be a part of it. Those guys, I read the article, those guys say they're cool with it. They're just going to play PlayStation and like they know the drill. And good, like that's maturity right there. If that's how it is, awesome. But yeah, it's
what are they really missing, right? Like, they're going to go to the UFC facilities, they're going to do their strength workouts, they're going to go to Allegiant Stadium. Like, there's these other things that are way more important as an athlete, right?
Yes.
So,
and if you win,
PlayStation's a nice little downtime.
That's right. If you win that game on Saturday, you're going to be able to celebrate whether it's here or when you get home ananyway, and that's going to be the biggest win for them all and the thing they remember most.
That's right.
Maybe get a $10 tattoo to
that. Now we're talking.
Poolsville.
Cheap plug. Can we get a discount on the $10 tattoo?
$1.
$7.50.
Ben, what are you looking forward to about the game itself? Like, let's talk footy. What are you talking about? What are you looking forward to? Sharks v Penrith.
It's good to have actual, like, this is round one. Like, it's great to have, it's real. It's not just preseason. It's not just a training run. It's good to have actual footy back. I'm interested to see how Penrith are, and I'm interested to see how the Sharks are. I've gone back and forth since the last time I saw you, Sam, in terms of whether who's going to win, who's stronger, whether the Panthers' injuries, whether they're underdone, who's actually going to play, who's in the lineup. And you've got this Sharks side that is, well, last year people argue was 90% there, 95% there, and just needed something else. And now we've got something else.
We do.
So how's that going to go? I'm excited to see the hit out, and I honestly have been going back and forth between how I think it's going to go.
Well, why don't you elaborate? Where are you at right now?
Okay, I'm at the stage where I think I can't see it being a blowout. I can't see it being a scoreline similar to the last couple of years. A few months ago, I was very, very insistent. Cronulla are just going to win. You're going to have Nathan Cleary, who's probably either not going to play or will be underdone. Toto's now out. You've got Edwards that's coming off surgery. Team has barely played. Sharks are in with a real solid chance
Has
here.
Cleary played a trial? He hasn't, has he?
I think he had the kind of hit out.
The behind-the-scenes one,
yeah.
Okay. It's an interesting point, though. Like, a lot of them haven't played a lot of football to start the year.
They are very underdone, and they have a very bad record round one. Now, I'm obviously setting myself up for the ultimate disappointment come the after party as I sob listening to T-Pain here at the nightclub. But I think that this is a different Sharks team, and it's a different matchup to what we've seen with the Panthers and the Sharks the past couple of years. That excites me. Also, it obviously excites me that I only had to fly 5 hours to see the game.
I'm still flying to get here.
Yes, you are. That's right. You're live via Zoom on a plane. Actually, you're on the wing, I heard, of the plane at the airport.
So Josh was supposed to be here by now, but he's delayed in Los Angeles because there was a person on the wing of a plane. I'm not sure if it was his or not, but legit story, a person on the wing of the plane, we think about to take off, and then...
It was here in Vegas, wasn't it?
No, it was LA, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. I thought it was Vegas.
Oh, was
anyway,
it?
They're on the wing of the plane.
Either one.
Either way,
it's where he's
doesn't
going or coming. It's either.
Yeah, and so then we had some police people approach him on the wing, no doubt, no less. It was like a Die Hard scene or something.
It was a movie scene.
But unfortunately, the gentleman fell.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what's
know
going to happen.
what his status is, but so Josh isn't here. So I'm not on a Zoom. I'm actually here in Vegas, and I've only got 2 more plane rides to go. And this could be an eerie podcast right now because...
That is
Stop
true.
it.
I'm just saying...
Okay, yeah, let's not jinx it.
I'm not jinxing, I'm touching wood. I'm just saying I am not a good flyer to start with.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of TV and media.
Especially the last couple of weeks. Is that a reasonable take from me? Like, am I giving everyone false hope?
No,
Look
because
at this
when you look at...
professionalism. Get away from the
Straight
plane
payment.
crashes.
But
Yeah.
when you put it into perspective, we're a pretty settled side, apart from
Yes.
Adden, who a world-class, best prop in the game,
Yep.
arguably. He slots in Danny's team easily. And Sam Stonestreet, who's been there before, we know what he can do.
Yes.
And a guy like that with a bit of pace, if he gets any space on the outside, especially when the Panthers, you know, they've got a second rower in their centres,
Yep.
let's maybe get some matchups happening here and there and opening up that space around the outside. But again, narrow, shorter field.
Yeah.
Forwards are going to be important, and we've got the best prop in the world in the side now.
That's a good point about the narrow field. I'd forgotten about that. So maybe the second rower playing out there isn't
It's not
as
such
bad.
a bad move, but I
still-
feel like they're a bit slower on their feet, right, compared to a
Absolutely.
centre. So
Absolutely.
Jesse or Kale can definitely get around them.
I wonder, sorry to interrupt, Sam, I wonder, because not only is the field is shorter both ways, right? So I wonder just the fact that it's less meters for the big forwards to get to the try
Good
line.
point.
Are they going to be less tired when it comes to like their second run? Am I overthinking this?
No, but the other thing is the heat here in Vegas. The boys have been doing pretty hard contact sessions and running around a lot. We're the 8:30 game. It's going to be nice and cool. Those boys are going to
Indoor
in a
stadium.
dome,
Yeah.
though, yeah. In a dome.
with a nice breeze coming through the
It's gonna
side.
be perfect. So yeah, I feel like they could run a bit longer. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm also interested in how the fans are going to handle the event. The 4-game, what is that, near 9-hour event?
Well, that's what we've been, because I'm here, as you said, with my radio team. So
Yes.
I'm the only one that's an NRL fan. I've got 5 other Americans here that are experiencing NRL and rugby league for the first time, and we're trying to game plan it because I don't want them to be worn out by the time
It's
that
a huge
the
day.
actual main event happens with the Sharks, the team that I'm trying to get them all on board with, play. Like, you're starting at 1:30 with the first game. 7 hours later,
Is the first game NRL or
first
is it
game
Super
is
League?
the Super League.
Okay. It's such a hard day to plan because it's like you want to see it all, right?
Yeah.
But you have to see the women's test.
Yeah.
For the
And-
Sharks girls, Quincy
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, because the logical thing would be to go in between the 2 NRL games, but I don't want to miss the women's
Yeah.
test match.
We love that.
So I think you've got to kind of watch the women's game, especially like a lot of Americans wouldn't see a lot of contact women's sport. Is that right?
100%.
Yeah.
So the strongest women's sports in America are your college basketball, maybe WNBA.
Lingerie football.
Yeah, RIP. Then turned into the Legends Football
Keep
League.
your gutter out of my podcast.
That's right. So, yeah, like that's what I'm looking forward to.
And the skill level in NRLW, especially a test match, it's going to be
Oh,
off
it's
the
going to be
charts.
fantastic, yeah. And the English can play.
Yeah, they're a really aggressive side.
When I went
NRLW,
to
full
the
on.
World Cup final in England, I was a couple of rows back from the English women's side. And so they sat there and they watched Australia win, and they were right at the Australian women's side. They walked straight past them up the aisle. A couple of them were clapping, a couple of them were giving them a side eye. This is the English side.
Yeah.
They saw in their home country
Yeah.
the Australians win. Like, that's, I bet a few
They're
of them,
coming
if they're
for them.
playing on Saturday, they're thinking
Absolutely.
about that.
Well, I was going to say, I can't name sources, I can't name names, I can't even quote. But I know there's a little bit of feeling now with the Sharks playing team as far as the Penrith fixtures go. So it's not personal, but they're out to win this game for more than the 2 points is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially
Because-
off the back of last year, right?
Yeah.
We kind of handed that game to them in many ways,
Yeah.
and to come back and get the first game of the year against them in a place like this, there's a bit more in it.
And there's
than
always a
just
bit of
2
push and
points.
shove with the Panthers that, you know, they have that chip, the 4-year chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm not saying it's going to be heated, but I think that it'll be tough, physical, and I think the boys will get a little bit of extra satisfaction out of a round one win, which is all it would be.
But
But
what
we
a
do need
statement
it
to
too.
make, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. If when we win this game, it just sets you off on the right path. If you drop the Cowboys game, okay, that's not good. But you've already got your 2 points in Vegas against the 4-time premiers.
Yeah, it's a big game
Yeah.
in many ways.
Yeah.
And I
Everybody's
think we
watching.
can get it done.
Yeah. So yeah, from fan point of view, you know, I think our colleague Josh wants to be there. Like, he wants to be the first guy in the stadium. And I'm just like,
He might not make our game.
he might not make the city. But I'm more of like, well, I want to be there for the Gillaroos, yes. But I'm a little bit worried about the all-day event. You know?
Yeah, and beers and drinks and food aren't cheap.
Everything. The whole thing. Luckily, I'll be around Kieran Fraser and he can shout us because he's made of money. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be so good. And shout out to Gary for finding us the monorail today. Because
Hey.
I
we've
just
been...
simply glanced out the window, and there it was.
It was. Airport monorail. We've been doing some Ubering, a lot of walking. You did the bus.
Well, that's what I was thinking. He saved enough money from catching the bus that he was able to afford the monorail. So
Exactly.
It was a slight step up.
It was a silly move, really, because I had a 24-hour pass for the bus that expires at 5:43 tonight. So I didn't utilize the ticket.
We should have done the pod live from the juice bus.
The juice bus.
So I'll have
we
to
would
get
have
on
had
there.
some characters on there to talk to.
Trust me.
Does
you
it
would.
come this far?
Yeah.
I'm on.
Goes all the way up
That's
the
how I'm
strip
getting back.
around Vegas.
Let's go.
Monorail was good. Efficient.
It was. Got to go nice and close to the sphere.
We saw the sphere.
How good is the
We
sphere,
got
by
so
the
close
way?
we could see the pixels.
It's unbelievable.
It is good.
It was the moon as we drove into the studio earlier this morning.
Really?
Yeah, right.
It looked like a Death Star last night when I just left you guys.
Really?
Oh, honestly, I love the sphere.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like, what's
So
the deal? Does it rotate every 3 minutes the picture and it's the same picture every 10 minutes? Or
It's
what's
something
the-
like that. There's a rotation. I was here last year for the Super Bowl, and the only disappointment was that it was non-stop advertising, and it was every 30 seconds a different ad, and people were paying like gazillions of
right.
dollars. Whereas this is fun because yes, it rotates between the smiley happy face that when it detects a plane going ahead, the eyes go towards the plane.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
100%.
that.
There's the
Oh.
Death Star, there's the moon, it's the Earth, and then at night. So I was in town when U2 played, and so the graphics are all U2 themed, and then they actually replicate what's happening inside the sphere. That if you're inside the concert, you can see outside as well.
Have you been inside?
Yes, I went to U2.
What is it like inside?
Yeah,
is there a
what's it like?
stage in the middle, or how is this set
Yeah,
up?
yeah, it's unbelievable.
So
because
is it a convention hall where U2 plays then other stuff or not?
No, so think of it like you're at a theatre and there's the different sort of tiered levels
Yes.
up, right?
Yes.
And you're just sort of above each other, and then there's a bit of a floor area, and then you've got from floor way back as far as you can see, a giant LED screen that goes both ways. And then whoever plays there, the issue is for them is that they have to spend all this money on production because they have to get these custom graphics. So when I was with U2, they changed it so while it went from you're in a sphere to then it looked like that the roof was coming down, you're actually in a very small box.
Yeah, right.
Then it just disappears, and then the graphics are so realistic that it looks like that you're looking out onto Vegas with cars going past and the planes going past, and it's like literally alive, I'm using air
That
quotes,
is awesome.
look at the strip.
So we're talking like for those back at home, Darling Harbour, the IMAX on steroids.
100%.
Folding back
That's
over our
exactly what it
heads.
is. Think about
Okay.
the IMAX, but when
That's tiered a little bit.
Yes, and when it opens, it just keeps going.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Here's
Is there
a fu-
anything on while we're here? In there?
There's the
nature
There's
show.
the nature show, which is short, very impressive, I've heard, but expensive. Here's the kicker. So U2, while they had to pay for all their production to make all this sort of custom stuff, and they obviously had to deal with the fact that most people were looking at the screen as opposed to looking at them on the tiny stage. They got 95% of the gross ticket sales,
Wow.
plus extra money to convince them to do it.
That's awesome. It's a lot amount of money.
Heaps of money.
How did you go without Larry Mullen on drums, though? That's the big question.
How did I go without Bono's voice being
Whoa.
anywhere past 50%? But graphics made up for it. It was an amazing
Yeah,
show.
it sounds like a big production that's worth viewing in a space like that for what it's worth.
Ben, my first musical experience on this trip in Las Vegas, at least, my Uber driver.
Yep.
You're a Gilmore Girls fan?
My
Uber driver. Remember that joke from the?
sort of went over my head, but that's okay.
It's from the reboot.
Oh, well, even less chance that I would have got that.
Whitesnake on.
Whoa!
Whitesnake in 2025. I even saw it. I recognized the vocal, but then I saw the thing on the radio. Whitesnake.
I love that.
'Cause you're a bit of a. I don't want to pigeonhole you. You like all sorts of music.
I do.
But you don't mind a bit of hard rock.
I have an appreciation of a bit of classic rock.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You'd know the
Whitesnake.
song if you heard it. I'm not going to sing it, but you'd know
Come
it.
on.
No. Everyone out there knows.
Just
knows
doing the
what
social
they
while
would be
we
doing.
while we pod here. Man of many.
Oh, you are
things.
doing that. Sorry, it's the Gaz and Ben podcast while Sam, our
I
social
forgot.
media manager.
I forgot.
Gaz and
Welcome.
Ben take Vegas.
That's
that
it.
was that was my. I was going to do that because I only found out about that last night. The Gaz and Ben show. I feel like you might have just ripped off Gaz and Shinaz, but that's just me.
Yeah, Gaz and
there's
Ben
a
does
good
not
rhyme there as well, yeah.
Nah, you trumped me
Doesn't
with that
work.
one.
Now we've got some more fans arriving. Might be some Warriors fans down there. Is that a Sharks jersey or just a blue jersey? Maybe it's New
That's
South
an
Wales.
Origin jersey, and it looks like a couple of
Origin.
Cowboys fans who are a year too early, but that's okay. Come back next year, guys, and you'll be all good.
They're just working it out, aren't they? Putting out the feelers, working out the best way to go about things, and
That's
then coming
right.
back next
Because
year.
you don't want to be too overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed. Like we're in the middle of Vegas, and there's NRL merch stores.
I got to say, I'm semi-overwhelmed. Like I'm doing okay, but I'm semi-overwhelmed.
I think the fact that, and I don't know, Gaz, if you're the same, the fact that I've got a bit of work to concentrate on is sort of keeping me a tiny bit grounded for the
Yes,
fact that
100%.
I'm going to see the Sharks in Vegas only a couple of days from now.
I just know that the next 3 days are very packed schedule for me, and I'm
I
just
can
hoping
only
I can get
imagine.
everything out on time.
Well,
I
I
can
know
only
that the
imagine.
people back home are appreciating it.
That's good.
We're getting a
Wow.
lot of good responses about the pod stuff. You're getting a lot of good
Perfect.
response. We should give a shout out to Jess Chitch from the Sharks.
Yeah, she's been with the team since they left for
She's
LA.
carrying
and she's carrying the torch and
Yeah.
doing a great job. So
Yeah.
definite shout out to Chich for sure.
Yes, lovely person. And yeah, this is crazy. So Ben, let's describe where we are for the non-Vegas people. We're in Resorts World.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Vegas are we? What's going on?
Yeah, so Resorts World is one of the newest casino hotels here on the Strip. It's sort of on the more northern side of the Strip, so the complete opposite end of Allegiant Stadium where Sharks are playing on Saturday. And it's sort of the unofficial end of the Strip is this one. It gets a bit more local with local casinos, local resorts and that sort of stuff if we keep going further up Las Vegas Boulevard. But it's one of the newer ones. It's bright red. There's like 5 different hotels in here. It's a big deal, and lots of money has gone into it. It's near the Wynn and the Venetian and those sort of resorts. And then the Trump International Hotel, which is off-strip, is probably the closest thing to it. And it's sort of become this NRL hub, right? They stayed here last year, and they did NRL 360 and that sort of stuff from here. And then this year now with the Fan Fest and that, it's almost like you're just at a hotel in the middle of Melbourne or Sydney.
It feels like that, doesn't it? And then we've got Fremont Street as well. Whereabouts is that?
So Fremont Street is further. Now that's old Vegas, right? So that's where all your classic hotels are, down one street. That's where we're going to get Sam to zip line down.
That's right.
Which is going to be really exciting. And
we'll film it for SharkCast.
I won't have to worry about the plane. That'll be the end of me there.
Well, that's where you can film, because they give you a GoPro. You do the Superman where you're lying flat, and then it films you, Sam.
So just to catch everyone up, the three of us had a nice time at a place called
The Tilted Kilt.
The Tilted
That's
Kilt,
it.
which our friend PK had organised. That if you're coming over, go check it out. It's kind of, I don't know, halfway up the strip. You'll find it. The Tilted Kilt. If you say you're a Sharks fan, it's 2 for 1. It was perfectly lovely.
How long does that offer last?
A week.
Oh, I was going to say, can I come here in 6 months and go up
Well,
Cronulla? They go, here's 2 for 1.
You probably would. They get enough business. So anyway, it's sort of an unofficial place for the Sharks fans to hang out. And I'm losing my train of thought. But we were there. We were talking about $10 tattoos, all sorts of crazy stuff. And you said, we'll get you to zip line. And I was like, no way. Then we finished up, went outside, and you said, Ben, that's where it is.
That's right.
And I looked up. It was 1,000% higher than what I thought it was going to be. Like, it looked like, what, 3 stories?
It's very high. So there's a zip line on the Link Promenade, which is right next to the High Roller, which is the sort of Ferris wheel thing, and that looks like a very intense one, because the Fremont Street one, there's a roof over it, and it looks like it's a bit lower.
Yes.
This one,
To be fair, I was shocked at how high it was as well.
Great, that's good.
I couldn't believe it. I can't believe they actually do that.
But I also feel like it would be great content for SharkCast, and it should be done.
Yeah,
That's true.
And then I thought I'd found a way to fund my family and future family, as in like my son's existence in the future. But then Ben said there'd be a lot of waivers.
There'll be a lot of waivers, and I'm going to say, if you got the $10 tattoo, I bet there's a lot of waivers there as well.
Oh,
Surely.
man. Oh.
We're on.
Now you've mentioned that, the percentage has gone from 3 to about 2.
Yeah, sorry, mate. But that's
okay.
where we are in Vegas. We're at Resorts World, sort of the unofficial end of the strip, and a lot of these hotels that are around here, lots of big bucks are getting spent to get the big acts to play their nightclubs and that, to convince people to go a bit further than Planet Hollywood, the Caesars Paradise, the Bellagio.
It is out of the way, but it's nice, right? Like, that's a good selling point for up here, is like it's a really comfortable, nice fresh air environment.
Yeah, it's a really nice resort.
No smoking, did you mention that?
Yeah, no, we didn't, but you're 100%, which has been good. But it's been nice to walk through all the casinos and see all the fans and see everyone getting excited. And even, I mean, we've seen a couple of players and ex-players, as you said. We saw Brandy earlier walking past. Even he was like, I've seen E.T. 4 times since I've been here. And it's like, that's just what it's like. I feel more at home than my American co-workers do.
Yeah, right. How good's that?
They're kind of a bit out of place.
Who is that?
They're walking around. One of them, Nicole, has adopted the Warriors, and she is just walking around. Anytime she sees a Warriors jersey, she's just yelling up the Wars. And I'm like, this is in an American accent. It's just quite hilarious, to be honest with you.
You've done a good job. Like, we follow
Really
you
good
closely
job.
on the socials. I tune in sometimes.
It's nice.
But, yeah, the content you provided for Americans who don't know what the heck it is that we follow has been really good.
That's been the task that I've had, producing the radio show for Americans and Canadians, and also from the clubs that have been helping out, from the gang at the Sharks to the NRL to the other clubs involved, is how can we make this as not dry as possible, and how can we just not do the classic no pads, no helmets sort of gear. So that's what we've been doing. We're doing different content. We did a bit of a snack exchange with a couple of Sharkies, and then did a couple of we traded some slang words, and we did that all for the socials. Sean Johnson, when he did his promo tour in LA, came in, made the guys try Marmite, which was not pleasant for them. Ricky Stewart's coming in
Coach
tomorrow.
Ricky.
Coach Ricky is coming in. It's been fun, and it's been a good challenge as well, because obviously I'm passionate about it. To be like, how can we introduce this to an American audience that's just above what the ads are saying? And the thing is, proof is in the pudding. I was only saying to you off air before that we have been giving away tickets as well. And we've been getting calls from people in California, here in Las Vegas, people in Utah that are willing to travel, that want to come. And it's going to be their first time.
It's awesome. And you had Dave Riccio on the show who mentioned that it was 16,000 American people going to the game, which is like, that's an uplift on last year. So things are working, and it's definitely getting out there.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep it going, as we see Warriors fans stream in...
That's not a Dragons jersey behind him, is it? No.
Better not be.
That's an inverse one.
I think that by year 5, it could be like legit sellout and ultimate chaos, because it's trending up. Okay, it's only second year.
Yep.
There's some big teams that haven't been here yet.
Was it you mentioning last night that there was an article somewhere where the amount of money that we're bringing as tourists to the area, they're already in discussions to maybe extend the deal?
I'm not going to say what the figure was because I may get it wrong, but there was a large figure of what rugby league fans are bringing to Vegas over the week, and the mayor of Vegas or whatever was very happy with it.
And admittedly, what is kind of a dead week in Vegas.
Sure.
Like, we're wrestling fans, obviously,
Yeah.
and WrestleMania is intentionally that week in Vegas, the 20th and 21st, off the top of my head, of April, because that is traditionally a week, because Easter's around that time, that no one really travels to Vegas, so they put it intentionally there. So
Right.
the fact that we are on display this week where there aren't that many residencies, there aren't that many big artists playing the Sphere, and it's just all Australians taking up all the hotels and all the restaurants and the bars, pretty impressive.
Do you think that's luck
I think so.
compared to the WrestleMania thing? I think it's,
Yes, I think WrestleMania is far more intentional, because
Yeah.
obviously with the scheduling of when round one is, sort of doesn't really change each year. But I think that it's very lucky that this week is that sort of dead week entertainment-wise. There's only one hockey game this week, where sometimes there could be up to 3.
yeah.
It's like, okay, the Aussies are sort of taking over. They've noticed that. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Gary had a very cute moment this morning, Ben.
Oh, cute.
He
Here we
said
go.
we were walking through our lobby and people were gambling and doing things.
Yep.
And he said something like,
I said it's a bit early for this.
yeah. And I said, it's open all the time.
And I was like, wait, 24 hours? Every hotel?
Yeah.
Tell me the last time you saw a clock, apart from your hotel room,
Zachary.
as you
Yes,
walked
good
around.
point. Great point. What's the time?
5
Exactly.
o'clock. It's 5 o'clock all the time.
It was a little naive of me, wasn't it?
No, but I guess my point wasn't to put rubbish on you. My point was there are always people here doing something in Vegas.
That's right.
Even on a quiet week.
Yep.
It's still... I mean, I was here from... I can't even tell you when I was here. I was here from Monday night. It's now Wednesday day. It's gradually getting more busy. And that's, both, heaps of footy fans, but also just the week progressing and people coming to Vegas. It's impressive. Like, there's a lot going on. Even in a quiet week is my point. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. But the amount of football jerseys and things we're seeing, like,
Yeah.
we're taking over.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we are. Not sure what that jersey is. Some sort of polo. Maybe a Roosters polo.
Yeah, that's very eastern suburbs. Look at those chinos.
Have you guys seen many... That's why you're here, Ben.
Sorry.
Have you guys seen many other jerseys represented that aren't the 4 clubs on this trip?
I've seen a couple of dolphins.
Really?
Dolphins?
I haven't seen a random South Sky yet, which kind of is the inverse of what I'm expecting, like I said earlier. Seen a couple of dolphins, seen a couple of cowboys.
We saw a Broncos this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And a Storm last night. We walked past.
Yep, yes, I do remember the Storm, because he gave dagger eyes to Sam in his Sharks jersey.
Yeah. All
Which
about
was
that.
interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
fascinating.
replied to him, we're all okay.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like,
we're all friends
but
here.
2016, man.
If you want to throw, bro, we're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
We got places we can throw.
But I like that idea.
But you're right, that was outrageous. A Melbourne Storm fan here.
He was coming for you.
He really was.
We're here in Vegas having a great time. Josh has landed, by the way, which is
that's
great.
good.
I don't know if he's got through security or whatever, but he's here.
That'll be a tricky situation for him, maybe.
Could be. Could be. Speaking of that, the stench of marijuana is all around.
It
Legal
is.
in a lot of states in this country. And it's almost up there with the stench of nicotine.
Yep.
They're sort of fighting each other.
With that statement question,
Full stop.
Full stop. I do have a problem with it. It's actually one of my least favorite things about America.
The smell of...
Just the
whole thing.
the non-stop, all the stores that have closed after COVID and now just turned into weed stores. But the good thing is, Gaz, is that 6 weeks after the police raid the place and realise that they don't have any permits, and then it gets closed again.
Well, there was a giant one down the road on the way to
you
the
said
UFC.
that.
It was called Thrive or something like that. Shout out to them.
That
Maybe
did
they
look
can sponsor the
fancy.
show.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, this thing's as big as like an Aldi at home or like, a big supermarket chain. And it's just a weed dispensary with like edibles and all sorts of stuff.
Crazy,
going on.
isn't it?
This is insane.
It's an incredible industry for something that wasn't really legal in most places when I moved here in 2017, and now, as I said, especially in New York, every second store.
What are the rules around it? I swear I hopped in an Uber from the airport and my driver was high.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
That,
I
welcome
feel
to Vegas.
I mean, if he gets tested, he's got a problem maybe, or like
is that a thing? I don't know.
Well, you know my
Vegas,
rant about
man.
the number plates. I've already said that on the
Oh
show.
yeah, where we've had some real rants from Sam about the number plates being on the not on the front of,
What is
of
that
any
about?
cars. They're apparently not necessary, or as you said, Gaz, they're not checked.
Exactly. Ubers especially, just no number plates
How
on
do
the
you
front.
know who your driver
Exactly.
is?
He's driving a white Cherokee. Okay.
There's 7 white Cherokees. Which
Hey,
one are
pulling up.
you?
Which
There's
one?
there's legitimately only 3 cars in America,
Yeah.
and they're all there when you're trying to get one. Having said that, though, they do a good job. Everyone's been very friendly. I haven't had any issues at all in this
everyone's
country
nice. Everyone's
yet.
good.
I'm sure some Aussie Melbourne Storm fan might give you some grief, but
That's true.
aside from that, everyone's been very pleasant. It's a very alive city, I will say that. I like that. I love all the bright lights. I love the fact that it's 24 hours. If you need anything, you can kind of go get it, whether it's a chocolate bar or whatever. It's a cool city. How often do you come here, Ben?
Pretty often, like at least a couple times a year. There's always something on that I would like to go to, whether it is Super Bowl, I'll be here for WrestleMania, and there are different, like, so many great concerts. The residencies, there's always something happening, which is always good, and the best is when you can sort of time a couple things, like U2 plus the Super Bowl was great.
Yeah.
I did Guns N' Roses and Gwen Stefani, 2 of my favorites. That was a couple years ago. When it's a busy week and there's lots of things on, and Vegas is one of those cities where it is what you make it. You can either go to all the chain restaurants and just eat your way through the city,
Yeah.
or you can smoke your way through the city, or you can gamble your way through the city, or you can drink your way through the city.
Or all of the above.
Or, that's
Yeah.
right, you get the full buffet. I've been told that the Wynn buffet is excellent.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's a tip.
We
Now,
can
it
do
did come
buffet.
from the PR manager of the Wynn, so I don't know whether they're credible or not. But you know what? I'm going to take a word for it.
Now, where was the place you were telling us about last night? Was it the Asian tacos or something?
Oh, Grand Lux Cafe,
Grand
the
Lux
offshoot
Cafe.
of the Cheesecake Factory, one
That's
of my
right.
favorites.
Okay.
So now this is how crazy Vegas is. So if you haven't been to Vegas, there's 2 hotel resorts that are literally connected to each other, owned by the same people. They look identical. They're pretty much exactly the same. There's the Venetian and the Palazzo, and they both have a gaming room and a casino, and also shops and restaurants in each side. But again, they're connected. There is a Grand Lux Cafe in the Venetian. There's a Grand Lux Cafe that's separate, that's in the Palazzo. They're about 2-minute walk away from each other. One is open until 2 a.m., one is 24 hours, and I feel like we're going to demolish some Asian
I feel like we
nachos.
have to after the discussions last night.
Yeah, it sounded amazing.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a fun city. If you haven't been here, I know a lot of our listeners have. If you haven't, it's a fun city. I don't know how you'd go with kids. How would you go with kids?
They're making it more and more kid-friendly,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
This place is not kid friendly.
I mean,
go.
you could do
That's right.
Vegas in a
I couldn't
wholesome
bring my kids
way.
here.
You could do it in a wholesome way, but it would just be a very different experience.
I feel like it's like the Hoover Dams, the Grand Canyons,
Sure.
like that stuff.
Sure.
But we're not walking through the casinos and looking at anything here.
Or if you are, you're doing it 9 a.m. on a Saturday,
Yeah.
whereas everybody else that had a big night is either just stumbling home or is safely in bed.
Now, are the guys and girls with the cards shuffling?
Oh, yes.
Are they doing that at 9 a.m. on the street?
I don't think they're I don't think there are as many numbers out there
Okay.
as you might get at 11
Maybe
p.m.
the flicks are less aggressive. or-
Yeah.
Are the flicks to get your attention?
100% there to get your attention. There
So I
to
was
get you to
saying-
look, and then they shove the card in your face for...
I was saying to Gary, and you won't believe that we spent, a few minutes talking about cards from strangers. But I said to Gary, I'd be more inclined to take one if there wasn't the flick.
100%.
If someone just went, hey, and I went, okay, for no other reason, I'm not
without knowing
trying
what
to
it
suggest
is.
I'm doing anything in Las Vegas. I'm just
Get
saying.
out of the gutter, Sam.
We've got to have a warning at the
theme
start
of
of
this
this
podcast.
episode.
Yeah.
But the flick is so aggressive.
Very
It's so
aggressive.
But,
You can hear
I
it from
feel
a
like they're
mile
doing
away.
it to show off and go, hey, look what I can do. Click, 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 click.
It is actually impressive. I wonder how much training they have to
It
do.
is
Is there a
impressive.
school before you graduate to the
There'd
strip?
have to be something
There's
because there's
someone
some pretty
teaching
good
you,
moves
yeah.
going on. It's
Yeah.
like the guy with the rollerblades who was the delivery guy
Oh,
that was just
that's
like,
impressive.
doing the crisscross backwards.
It's like the
With
whole
the thing of food.
Seinfeld with the umbrella. I was the guy that invented the twirl. Someone
Exactly.
invented the click.
Can I give you one more sphere fact? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, when was the last time we talked about the Sharks on the SharkCast? Anyway, one more sphere fact. If you hide or do the sphere, there is a mini sphere in LA that they go and they practice everything and perform in.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Very
for
similar.
artists.
That's right. So there's so if you're the Backstreet Boys, you're about to play the Sphere in July.
Where
you
is
go-
it?
In Burbank, in LA.
Oh.
There is a mini sphere that you can go in, test out all the production, and it's
right.
a miniature version. What is this? A sphere for ants. There's a reference for you.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Thank you.
How small is the sphere? The mini sphere?
Well, I think it doesn't have the big sort of crowd, the tiered seating and
It's a
everything.
big stage.
It's bigger than
probably.
this, surely.
Yeah, 'cause we're at a mini sphere right here.
It's bigger than that one. But it's just it's a scaled down version where you can still sort of...
Is that like testing graphics and all
Yeah,
that
you're testing
stuff?
graphics,
Yeah, okay.
you're doing your dress rehearsals and everything because you want to make
awesome.
sure everything's all timed and everything. And
That's
it's
amazing.
a direct replica from what I've been told.
There you go.
Who owns the sphere?
MSG, so same people that do MSG,
Madison Square Garden.
and own the Rangers and...
So why don't they have it in New York?
not enough
stumped you.
space. Not enough
Oh.
space.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I wanted to do one in London, but that got shut down.
Yeah, right.
Where would you put it? Could you put it anywhere in New York? Have to be on
It
a
would
roof
have to
or
be.
something.
It'd have to be very far out. It'd have to be like next to the NFL stadium out there in the Meadowlands, technically in New Jersey, because
Okay.
they're still trying to talk about knocking down Madison Square Garden because it's taking up too much space, and
They
they
can't
want to
do that,
Really?
surely.
They want to increase the
No.
railroad and that sort of
Isn't
stuff.
it like a historical building or something?
But the issue is that all the railways around it are historical buildings.
So the Sharks should be good on the weekend.
That's great.
Look, it's a lighthearted episode. I know you inbox me right now going, shut the hell up about Las Vegas. We don't care. Look, we told you we'd be here in Las Vegas talking about all things Sharks and Las Vegas related things. We're probably going to talk to a player later on. Gary, coming
Yeah,
up
we've got
soon.
a captain's call this afternoon with all the captains from every squad. So
We've got our eye on
there's-
one.
Yeah, there's Cam McInnes will be there.
That'll be the one.
But yeah,
That's a
obviously
good
the
one.
Warriors, Raiders, Panthers captains as well as the Gillaroos, Kezi Apps, and
Yes.
I'm not sure who the Lionesses captain is, but yeah, we've got a little media call this afternoon and a few things going on that will feed into tomorrow's Fan Fest, and
Yes.
away we go.
And we'll have a live production meeting on air right now, which will exclude Ben because he's not going to like it. I feel like maybe we're going to have a little bit of a gathering on Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Friday afternoon, Vegas time. Venue TBC. Ben, you're out from after 3, is that correct?
Yeah, I am. I have to do some content for the show, unfortunately.
Will you be out for the whole afternoon?
There will be a gap in between. I have 2 pieces of content that I can't tell you about because it is top secret to my hosts. I might be able to swing by
Have you
maybe
already
afterwards.
told us about one of them?
I'll have to tell you off air. I don't think I told you last night, actually.
Is it bigger than last night's one?
No, that one's going to be quite big
Okay.
if it happens.
Yep. I'm a huge Britney Spears fan.
Brittany had a Vegas residency.
I know, at
How
Planet
long ago?
Hollywood. In 2014 at Planet Hollywood, because I was staying there.
How about that?
There we go.
That's good. That's good for
She was
me.
on all the elevators, like the elevator on the doors, Britney.
I was a year too late. I was here 2015.
Ah, hot damn.
Bugger.
That Will Kennedy's a hell of a player. We might wrap it up, boys. We've got things to go and do, including going to talk to Sharks people. Ben Harlum, special guest, always welcome on the show. He's been a massive help for us
Massive.
in Las Vegas. We're like, what to do? Where do we, left or right? Just keep going. Like, you've been amazing, Ben. we
Oh,
appreciate
thank you. I love tagging along.
No, it's good.
and giving
really.
you random entertainment facts. That
We love it
Got to
too.
try this pizza, this Asian
Yeah.
nachos.
Oh, what's the
lots
pizza
going on.
place?
Giordano's, the deep
Yeah.
dish pizza.
Okay.
Might be getting some new sponsors here, Sam.
Oh, man.
Well, at the very worst, people are listening to this in Vegas. We know this
Go
because we're
test it
told
out.
this. They might. So your tips might lead them to, which really should be a kickback.
Tell them SharkCast sent you, and you won't get a free garlic bread.
Well, yeah. I feel like if you mention the Tilted Kilt and SharkCast, we might get something at the end of the week. some tips or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something might come through.
We're not looking for it. You know, it's not like the US dollar is killing us.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
Ben hasn't seen the Trump video. The Trump video.
Oh, my goodness. The Gaza Strip.
You need to see that.
All right. We'll
Our
watch
listeners have already seen it.
it. Of course. They're far ahead of me.
I need to know if it's real. I think it's real.
on his account. He's
Oh,
made it.
That says it all.
Someone's made it for him. Let's just paint the picture.
Have
There's
you
like money raining down over Elon Musk while he eats.
Have
what
you
looks like a
seen?
cobbler.
I know you've. Actually, I don't know if you have. Getting all these things in my head. Back to the Future 2?
Yes.
Of course you've seen it.
course.
God bless you. Oh, it's Friday Night Lights you haven't seen. You
That's
and the
it.
coach.
Yeah. That's
You and the coach
that's one I
haven't
have
seen
to catch
Friday
up
Night
on.
Lights.
That
Think
shocks
Back
me.
to the Future 2.
Yep.
Alternative 85.
Yep.
And then think of that when you watch this video we're telling you to watch.
Okay.
It is that out there.
Really?
But I'm in another country and I'm not going to diss that because I don't want to be thrown out
Fair.
until Monday. Monday you can throw me out.
That's right. Yeah, that's my general attitude working
Hey,
and living here.
We appreciate your time, Gary, Ben.
No
Hopefully
problem.
both of you will appear again. We'll see how we're going for time. And we appreciate everyone's patience with this episode. 'Cause we're just
Yeah, if
having
you made it
some fun.
this far, good on you.
Yeah, we're having
You're a
fun.
diehard if
I
you've
always
made it this
feel
far.
I always feel bad for myself that I have to
Oh.
apologize for my own show. It's like, why can't I just sit around talking to my mates about
This is you.
This is me. I'm Vegas. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Up the Sharks.
Up the Sharks. We're going to get him. We're going to get him on panel. Let's get some predictions. Saturday, 8 o'clock, what's going to happen?
You know what? I know we were talking earlier about it being a close game and everything like that.
Uh-oh.
But I feel like the back end of the game, we could put on some points. So I'm going to go with like a 24-12 scoreline. Sharks,
Two Sharks.
obviously.
And
Yeah.
who's going to be the main person responsible for this great performance?
I am going to go with an obvious one, but I think he's due for a big year, and it's going to be a big year for him. Nico Hines.
He does like to start well.
He does. So
Okay.
he's, just the headspace he's in and the way he's looking physically, I think he's in for a big year.
24-12 Sharks.
Yes.
Man of the match, N. Hines.
Yes.
Ben, what's your thoughts?
I'm not sure about a score, but I do like Gaz's your one. That was very good. But I will say Jesse Ramian's going to have an absolute
Ooh.
blinder.
Love that.
Ooh,
Love that.
Jesse.
Considering the matchups on the sides, on the
We love
shortened
Jesse.
wings
Yes.
and the field, we definitely win.
So you see him powering over maybe, as opposed to setting up?
Yes. I think he'll do both,
Yeah, right.
honestly.
Stone Street in for a try then.
Is that his
He's
side?
on that side because Sione's out.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good call.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
winning. They're too underdone. I'm sorry.
I think we
You know
win.
what? I'm not sorry.
You're not sorry?
Yeah,
Don't
why
be
are we
sorry.
apologising? We win, I agree. What was that?
I think
Andrew
it was enough up
Eddinghausen.
Cronulla, actually.
Andrew Edding hasn't entered the building again. So we've got another thing going on, over-unders for ET selfies.
Oh, that's good.
I had it at 1,000, which I think is realistic. He's here for a week.
Yeah.
Gary said we hit 25 at the airport before we left.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Oh, we're on
selfies.
track.
I took some photos that might not count as selfies, but they are photos with ET that were expected to be selfies, but then I was pulled in to take photos.
I'm talking any photo with ET and someone.
Oh, 1,000 is easily done.
Okay, you with that, Ben? You
We
down?
could already be there.
We could be
Overs.
there.
I'm going over.
He's such a great guy. I just love him so much. Have you met him?
No, I don't believe so.
All right, well, we got to make that
We'll
happen.
sort that out.
Don't worry, I set up Dylan Wright the other week. Don't worry. And then I lost Dylan Wright's interview. He's probably listening now.
Really?
Or
No.
actually, I don't know if he's got through 50 minutes. Yeah,
No.
that great interview. His brother was there. His brother was on the interview. The file was gone. Something happened.
I'm shocked.
There's a chance I didn't hit record.
Yep, that happens.
It happens
We've all
rarely.
been there.
Happens rarely. Thanks for listening, guys and girls. This is SharkCast Pod, and we will talk to you soon. Keep on believing in the black, white, and blue. Up, Cronulla. Thanks for your time, boys. SharkCast is supported by the best and most honest real estate agent in the Sutherland Shire, Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. He's an expert in the Caringbah region and has his eye all across the Shire. Lifelong Sharks fan and supporter of this podcast, if you're looking to buy or sell in the region, the person you need to be talking to is Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. Call him on 0410 417 450. That's 0410 417 450. Jason Hawes, Cripps & Cripps Real Estate.
SharkCast! SharkCast! Tell your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.